So guys, you guys remember like Nintendo Powers, the mail-aways? You know, like something very unique that used to be in them was mail-away promo shirts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All that good stuff.
Promo items.
Yeah, promo items. Something that I really want to talk about the audience that we all technically own is like some of the coolest stuff that we see in Nintendo Powers. And my question is like, how hard do you think those are to find nowadays?
I mean, it depends what you talk about. I mean, on one of our first episodes, we talked about one that was super obscure, and that was there was a mail away for a 1080 snowboard. And one showed up on eBay, and that's how we found out, like, oh my gosh, where'd they get this 1080 snowboard? And Ricky and I were digging through Nintendo Powers recently, and we saw it in there, and we're like, oh my gosh. I feel like that's one that I've only seen once, and it feels super obtainable. Or not obtainable. Is that the word? Unobtainable? Is that the word? Unattainable. Unattainable.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks, boys.
We're good.
One of the best ones, though, that Ricky owns, and it's super unique, is the Fulgore mask.
Oh, the Fulgore mask.
Yeah.
But you got to tell them the story of how you found that and how we thought nothing of it.
Well, the cool thing is it was the most random seller. He just had masks. It was around Halloween time, so we're just like, whatever, what is this? I walk over, he had like cool masks. I think at first spotted, I don't even know what the heck. It was like Freddy Krueger, and then Fulgore was right next to him. I was like, yo, I never even seen a Fulgore mask
From Killer
before.
Instinct, if anybody doesn't know.
Instinct, Fulgore. Dude, I grabbed it, wanted it, $10. We didn't know what it was. I just picked it up because I thought it was cool. Little did we know.
I went home and researched it.
You're the one that researched it because you were doing the episode on it. You're like, Ricky, that mask.
I started Googling it, and I'm like, Ricky found this Fulgore mask, blah, blah, blah. And I start researching, and I'm just like, I just see how obscure it is. And only one has ever popped up in like a random picture that someone didn't want to sell. And I'm like, what is this? And I just kept digging. And it was a Nintendo Power, like random prize thing. And I like zoomed into every detail, like making sure Ricky's was that one, that it wasn't like, a Halloween shop remade it. It was definitely yours.
I think you showed me a picture. Does it look kind of like Predator-ish?
Yeah,
a little bit
kinda
like it has
that with
dreads,
the
kind of with the mask
orange
in
hair.
the front.
Yeah.
Orange hair.
But stuff like that, so it's hard because what's the price, right? You don't know.
it up.
A NEOP, that's what my buddy calls it, name your own price.
Yeah,
it's like
I
there
love
is
doing
no, let's just pretend, if you had to throw it on, based on our knowledge of rare things and all that, and stuff, what would, if you had to sell, I know you're not selling it, what would you throw it for on eBay?
The way things are going now, probably like $3K.
$3K?
Ooh, $3K. Wow.
I mean, but think
I would
about
just
it.
throw it up because, it's
You ever
never
seen one? Yeah.
Do you think it is like a one of one? Do you think it was like a competition maybe?
It was just, he showed it to me. It was just in the magazine. You could buy it.
Oh, you saw it in the magazine.
But no one,
But they don't appear, I mean, I looked in detail, like down every thread, nothing. No word of anyone ever owning one, posting one, anything. Just one picture one time by one guy, and he wasn't selling it.
I got something that was from a contest in the Nintendo Power. It was a sweatshirt.
Now, did you win it?
No, I got it from the person though like the person that won in the contest.
Do you
at
still
Rose
have it?
Bowl. No, I sold it.
Oh,
How much?
Sold it for $500.
What
was the shirt?
Yeah, now we
Extra
don't
small.
even know.
No, what was the shirt?
It was Mario. It was like it was a sweatshirt, and it was just Mario like standing like this, like with his arms crossed. And it was the contest was out of I think 5 winners, and he was one of them. And he was like, I think he said he was like 14 or 13 at the time.
He was the winner.
Yeah, he was the winner, one of the 5 winners.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
And he sold to me for like $40. I was like, let's go.
You said it was, and you said it was too small for you?
Yeah, it was too small for me.
I didn't know they make shirts that small.
By the way, I make Blake try on a lot of the shirts that are extra small.
Like they won't even like get. I won't be able to get my arm.
In one of
through.
the videos coming up on Pixel Game Squad, probably out by the time the video is out, that we find that little tiny shirt, and we're like, there is no way that this will fit Blake. Like it looked like this, like the size of like half of your arm. And I'm like, Blake, try it on. And on the video, he puts it on. It fits him like a glove.
I found one the other day that was this big, and I was like, dude, you've got it. It was like tiny, and I was like, you've got it. What was that? I forget what it was.
Some like random baby tee. I tried putting it over my head. It
He couldn't fit his head, but I'm trying to find this.
Blake, how much do you weigh? Can we all guess?
Yeah, take a guess. Let's hear it.
110.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
5'7". You're going to say 110?
110.
106.
42. I'll say
You go.
120.
I'm gonna go 118. Right underneath it.
I'm like 114, 115. I've weighed the same since 7th grade.
Can you gain weight if you want to, or you just
No.
do you like stick to a diet, or do you eat whatever you want?
I eat whatever I want.
Son of a gun.
He also doesn't
Stuff my
finish
face.
his
Son
food,
of a
though.
He doesn't
Yeah.
finish his food. That's why.
I have a small stomach. I had to eat throughout the day
I
constantly.
eat with him a lot, and he'll just halfway through just get not
That
even
is-
halfway
Yo, he's
through.
got like
Sometimes a quarter of
a
the way.
quarter of the way through. I got to
Right.
take it home.
This I had never seen in my life. we were at like the gas station. I was like, "You hungry?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Let me get you. You want a banana?" And I was like, "I'm going to get a banana." Give him the banana. We did something later on that day. Drop him off. There's a half a banana left in my car. I'm like, "You didn't finish your banana?" He's like, I got.
It's
full."
only this big.
He goes, "No, I got full halfway through eating the banana." I was like, "What? How did you get full halfway through a banana?"
Dude,
That
he's-
is not fair.
I made this remark to him the other day while we were sitting outside of the state cell. I go, dude, you're like built like a hummingbird. Like that's literally him.
I don't know how to take that.
Fast metabolism and is moving quick, but he's really
Constantly
small.
moving.
Oh man, I think a fan recently sent me like an old CES magazine, and that's one of my favorite things to do is just go through those old magazines, old advertisements, and find the random giveaways, the random things that are for sale, the random things that especially the ones you've never seen. Because now I will say, now that we've been into collecting like odd and obscure, there is plenty of times where I see like we're going with the Nintendo Power, and I'm like, oh shoot, that's the one I own, or that's the one I've seen Blake wear, that's the one Ricky owns. So it's always cool when you find that random item where you're like, oh, I have never seen somebody have that before. Like somebody out there has it, or it could have been like an unfulfilled.
Did you ever mail anything away? Anybody? I never did.
No.
Dude, I don't even know how to fax, so I don't even know what mail
Facts.
is.
we had a guy recently. He was on Retro Rick's video. Probably. Oh no, the video went out. We interviewed him. Rick did, and I'll probably get the story a little bit wrong, but basically it was during the Mountain Dew Xbox giveaway, which you guys know those are super expensive. You got to find like the right bottle caps or whatever it was. I'll probably get the story a little wrong, but he worked like either with someone that worked at a recycling center or someone that was next to a recycling center, and they got them to give them all the bottle caps for that giveaway. Like everybody who was throwing away those Mountain Dews, and they ended up having like I think 3 or 4 guys from their thing won. Like they were the winners. So all those like winning bottle caps were right there in that area. And it was just crazy because I know those are super expensive now. Those are like, I don't know how much does the Mountain Dew CIB go for?
15 to
They're pretty expensive.
just depends.
Yeah, $1,500 or so.
And not just like to play into like the promos that were put into magazines, and even like I was checking through an old PC game and it was CIB and all that stuff, so it was open, but like Bethesda, I'm lispy.
It was rough.
Bethesda. Yo, like in there, like they had mailaways for specific shirts and hats and stuff like that. Like I wasn't even prepared to see something for like an RPG in there, and I was like, that shirt is probably so rare, like an Ultima shirt that doesn't come up. You know what I mean? Like who had PC games back in the day and then also thought to like, hey, let's send in for this and get that crazy shirt.
Who spent the most money here on a like a random shirt or promo item?
It's got to be Chris.
Probably me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm thinking I'm pretty cheap
And-
when it comes to stuff like that.
How much?
On a shirt,
Yeah.
I think the most I spent. I haven't spent more than 900. So 900 is the most.
I know Rick spent 8 on a Shaq Fu single stitch.
I think he's paid more than that.
Really?
Yeah. He told me a
didn't
little
wanna
bit
tell
more than that.
Ricky,
I won't say,
Ricky.
but
He tried to play
I
it
think
down.
so.
All right, better question. What's the most you've ever spent on a gaming item to collect?
Does it include like signs and stuff like
Yeah.
that?
Yep. Anything. Gaming item.
There's a stadium event just sitting right there.
Don't worry about that.
Does it include like arcade and pinball machines and stuff?
I'd say you can give that to us also, but I'd rather also know with like a game.
Let me think about it for a minute. Maybe Rick, do you know yours?
Statues for sure. Those Mario statues I bought. That's the most I've ever.
Yeah. What'd you
spent.
pay? What was the most? How much was it?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't want to say. But
His
it was a
wife's
lot.
listening.
It was a lot
It was a lot.
It was multi-thousand.
It was more. I'll tell you this. It was more than 5K.
for sure.
Yes, for sure, more than 5K.
Easy.
Trying to think.
But he left the
Probably.
house spending more.
Did.
I don't think I've spent more than like maybe $3,000. Maybe like honestly, like the statue I bought off of you, 2,500. I'm not that high. I haven't really gone crazy
You?
on a big item.
Honestly, like I can't really think of like a video game item, but I've paid up for like
What? Let's hear it.
I've had 2 pairs of shoes that were extremely rare. I still have one of them, and one of them is gone. One of them is video game related though, and it's
Ooh.
worth thousands and thousands of dollars. It's I had one of the 157 PlayStation 2 shoes that
Okay.
were giving to their executives back in the day.
Wow.
I was able to get them for $200 off of this guy who was selling his like son's shoe collection, and he, like not shoe collection, but like his son's stuff. And he had worked for Sony, and he had the shoes, and I was like, I bought them, and I sold them for like $900, worth around like 11 grand now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You told me that's
Wow. Wow.
got waxed.
Yeah.
I've actually never paid that much for a singular item. I very often pay a lot for things, but it's always like lots at a time.
Same. Now that I think
Like
about
I'll easily be like, sure, you want to sell me that lot for $8,000 and it's worth 15. I'll do it.
bought
Sure.
a lot of
that. I
lots.
paid
Yeah.
a ton. Yeah, 10 grand for lots, stuff
Totally.
like that. That's why, like maybe like when I bought, like when I bought the pinball machine, that Super Mario pin, that's $6,000. That's a
Oh, that's a big
man.
one.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was
The Mario pinball.
Yeah, the Mario pinball, but it's a big item. I find it hard to spend like that much on something small. It's just like
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
We'll be there very soon, Ricky, with the NES Pursuit. We're already getting some heavy ones, but there's going to be some heavy ones that come into play.
You know what I find unique, but also like something that I probably wasn't here for, but you guys collect, is some of the events had also promos for those shirts. The one that you brought in the other day, which you guys have two unique pieces of, you have a Star Fox white sweatshirt and you have a Star Fox obscure gaming
Competitor? Sure.
it was a
competitor shirt.
Woolco champion Super Nintendo Star Fox shirt from Woolco was a department store. Yeah.
And they had a random competition there. Like, I guarantee you that shirt's nowhere else.
No.
I didn't think so either, but I did see somebody else have one.
Oh.
Which then I'm like, dang, I thought maybe I had a one of one. As soon as you see the
Only I have
second,
a
I'm like,
Chris
dang,
jacket.
now I
Yeah.
don't have the one of one anymore.
What's your
And-
Star Fox jacket? It's the competition jacket?
Yeah, but it's a white one. I've never seen a white one.
I think it was like one of the
Yeah, neither have I.
person who like ran the event. Or
Had to
something
be
like that.
something like that because dude, you saw it.
It's the same style as the black one, but it's white.
It's like cotton. It's
trying to remember what it looks like now. I do remember seeing it. But
yeah.
We all have one that I really like. It's like the Super Scope demonstrator t-shirts.
That
Oh,
is a good
yeah.
one.
I think it was maybe Australia. I heard somebody say, I don't know, but it was basically we have the shirts they were used back in the day for the time when they were people showing people how to demonstrate using the Super Scope. And I was like, it's just crap like that's like such a subcategory within game collecting. Not only goes into gaming, not only goes into shirts, but it just goes into even like employee almost,
Yep.
you know? So it's like a triple dip of, I don't know, what I think is super cool.
Who has an NWC shirt in here?
Me,
Chris.
No, you do.
Chris
You have
got a
three.
zillion.
Oh, he
Oh,
does.
I have one.
Yep.
Ricky has
You
one of the
have
most
one.
rare ones.
Very weird
Do
one.
we have most of the market?
I've never seen the one Ricky has. It says head to head.
Is it the white one?
No.
No.
It says head to head. It's gray. Single stitch, and it has two. It's like
Yours
the
is-
graphic
yeah.
is sick. It's two robots going
Weird.
face to face, and on the arm it
love
says Nintendo World Championships.
I would say that we don't
take
have the
5.
market, but I say that they don't
Five?
come up very often. That's
They
for
really
sure.
don't. That's why I started buying
100.
some of them. I display them in my store.
500.
Oh, and Rick got one of my NWC shirts.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang, get waxed
Did
on
it
that one
free.
too.
for free.
And he lost Sculptor's
Welcome.
cut.
You're welcome. Yeah, that was a hell of a day.
You guys never
terrible
let
Worst
us
day
day.
of my life.
That was the
That was
same
actually a good
day.
day. That was a fun day.
That was fun.
Dang, man, yeah. And I think what also is like very unique is Blake. You have a very a extensive knowledge into clothing, and you go to Dusty for a lot of your clothes. Explain like some of the stuff that's like super rare, like like when you talked about like old wrestling shirts that got hood stitched to them,
Oh,
and why that would be worth more.
okay. So like, there's a thing called like an after hood, right? Where like companies back in the day like had old stock sweatshirts in like the 20s, 30s, 40s, right? And they they started like stitching hoods onto them, and they would like come out like a little bit, right? And like people at like the docks were like wearing them because it's like super cold in the morning, and so not a lot of those sweatshirts survived. Those are worth like thousands and thousands of dollars. And Dusty had found one in a storage unit, right? But someone chopped off the left sleeve off of it.
No.
So it only had the right sleeve. This $5,000 hoodie is like just ruined now. It's only worth like $1,500-$1,600.
Did he sell it?
Yeah, he sold it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he found some like crazy Levi's that were like
Yeah,
Yeah,
$10,000,
he
$7,000.
Where would you say, just while we're on the topic of clothes, where would you say like the clothes market is right currently? Vintage T-shirts and stuff.
So I will always love clothes, but right now it is just declining. I am
Vintage?
slowly trying to get out of clothes. I love media. It's my margins are a lot better.
Yeah.
I can get media for like $1 or $2, and clothes I had to spend like $10 minimum on a shirt. You know what I mean?
Do you think DVDs and that type of media will rise right now? I Phoenix Resale, I edit for him obviously, but in one of the videos I was editing, it's probably out. He was talking about how there was like a lot of conversation about maybe DVD or media going back up because everyone's just getting reamed nowadays with all the millions of different services to pay to stream now. It started out with, hey, Netflix, you can watch all this. Now everyone has an account to Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus, HBO.
So a lot of the media I sell or try to sell is something you're not going to find online. It is the only place to buy it would be on a DVD or to buy my VHS.
All right, I got one for you to look out for me. I don't know if it exists. I guarantee you nobody in this room has heard of it. I used to watch a show when I was a little kid called Will Quack Quack. If they have a
Never
DVD
heard of it.
or if they have a
Never seen it.
VHS and any of you find it, I'll pay you
buy it for you.
handsomely.
I'll buy it.
Because
I'll buy it for you.
I've Googled it and it's just not out there in the ether. And it was a childhood staple for
That's
us.
one thing on VHS that sells really well is kids like shows
Yeah.
back in the day that are impossible to find.
And that is smart because, I mean, that's an easy way to, guarantee that it's going to be desirable because you have something that people will want to go back to, just like even in the parking lot. You were showing me old Christian VHS tapes. And I said, dude, I'm actually super nostalgic for old Salty the Bible, McGee and Me. These were things I used. Bible Man.
Do you ever watch
For me, it was
Veggie
Veggie
Tales?
Tales.
Oh, yeah.
I
Veggie
love
Tales.
Veggie
The little
Tales.
veggies are going around.
I still
dude.
think it's crazy how popular VeggieTales got for being
Still
Christian
super
media.
popular. It's awesome.
But
I
it's-
love
it's-
Veggie Tales.
For Larry, right? Larry was the main guy.
Larry.
But it's just crazy how big it got
Yeah.
for being, not a secular thing. I was always blown away by that as a kid. I was like, whoa, it's like mainstream.
Yeah.
But VeggieTales is huge, yeah. But if you ever see any of those, man,
I've had a director hit me up that because I was selling his movie. And he was like, why do you have this? This was never released to the public.
Is that the Spider-Man thing?
No, it was called Wasted
What's
Apples. I
Wasted
just sold that one the other day.
You sold Spider-Man?
I sold the Spider-Man.
he had a
I sold-
bootleg Spider-Man movie.
It
was like a
fan-made.
fan-made thing.
Yeah,
How much? Like 200?
250.
250.
Sold for $250.
Sold for $250.
When we hunt for media like DVDs and VHS, it's whatever the weirdest, strangest
thing you can
stuff.
find.
Like we'll look at when you're out hunting, you'll see like thousands of DVDs, and you can just, what the heck is that? And you just take shots on weird stuff.
Yeah, I was watching an interview by Nardwar, and he was doing Snoop Dogg. It's a really big throwback to him when he was doing the interview, but he was bringing a unique item to Snoop Dogg. It was one of his first movies he was in with a VHS.
Yep.
And Snoop Dogg goes, wait, I don't even own this. And he's like, where did you find it, right? That's how you know, like, media is so unique in that aspect. It's like, we didn't think to keep all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I honestly love when Nardwar goes out of his way. He'll bring up a vinyl that someone's never seen, and he goes, like, the extra mile. With that being said, like, you doing that is actually saving things that may never come to light again. You know what I
He
mean?
was very appreciative that I had it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Was he the one that bought it from you too?
he was the one that bought. No, he didn't buy it. He was like, whenever you're willing to get rid of this for really cheap, let me know because I have it pretty high.
You're ready to wax it? You want it back?
I had that happen with a surf video that I found as well. Like a lot of times, surf and skate videos tend to be worth more.
Fulfill the dream, shorties.
Yeah, and a lot of them are like, some of them are like fan made and stuff like that. So I had one listed on eBay, and then this guy hit me up and he was like, he inquired about it. And then he was like, oh, that's like me and my buddies. Like we were in a band and we made that tape or something. And I was like, oh, sweet. And then it sold like the next day. And then I was like, oh, nice. He bought it. And then we shipped it off. And then I thought I went to a good home. And then the guy messaged back. He's like, hey, did that DVD VHS sell? And I was like, you didn't buy it? Why didn't you buy that thing? You said how personal it was to you. But then I was like, I guess there's somebody else that was into what you were, whatever that little thing was. But yeah, there's a lot of that weird stuff that's like fan made.
I found
stuff.
recently, a locker full of Sid Haig's stuff, which is the guy from Devil's Rejects and all that. Is super popular.
Where that VHS came from. It was part of Sid Haig's locker.
Yeah, so I got Sid Haig's. Luckily, it went to a fan of Sid Haig, bought it from me, but it was his like original AOL like little media CD, like bootleg. Like, hey, here's my reel of me. Like, I'm going to be an actor and a director someday.
That's pretty cool.
It's
That
really
is
cool.
awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
It was his reel that was made by like in home with like a label printer, like Sid Haig demo reel, like crappy graphics. Someone bought it who was a huge Sid Haig fan. So that's I'm seeing. But like you said, it went to a proper place.
I'm still hoarding his
I
stuff.
can't remember. They all went pretty good though. I basically had a lot of Sid Haig stuff and a lot of it.
Yeah.
But rightfully so, like you said, that is crazy lost media that you just only hope and praise gets into the right hands of. Because yes, it's awesome. I'm like, holy cow, I find this is crazy. But I'm not necessarily trying to collect Sid Haig, right? We're collecting NES games. That's my thing. Give me the rare NES.
You did get that cool. One of the coolest things is that had the help reels.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
was dope.
That was sick.
The one VHS that I'm collecting is like prophecy stuff and like UFO stuff.
I like
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
On VHS?
Yeah, on VHS. I don't know why, but I love it.
I'm
It's
with
so
you.
weird.
Do you watch those?
Yes, I do.
You do
I
watch
do.
them?
They're so terrible.
Really?
They're terrible. Like, oh my god, they're awesome though.
Like, what's the best VHS player? Because you have to know. You got what? How many VHS?
Oh gosh.
What's your
Best
inventory?
player?
I mean,
I
what
just
do you
have one.
play
I
on?
just have a TV and just stick it in there.
Oh, so
Oh,
you,
nice.
you just go.
You go convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
But CRTs, obviously.
HDMI VHS players, if you can find them, they're hard to find.
They're out
Sold
there?
him mine.
Yeah, that's right. I did get it
Yeah.
from you.
Sold
Yeah,
for
there's
cheap.
VHS players with HDMI out.
Yo.
And so go for it.
Yeah, so if you
see
can
what those
find
go
them,
for.
I'm still
I think they're like
holding-
140, 150 bucks
I'm
generally.
I'm still holding Sid Haig's like original TV contracts that he had from the 1960s when he was first getting into them.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like hoarding them. I don't know why, but I think just like that,
Yeah.
the interestingness of like keeping
good.
movie memorabilia. You know what I mean? It's
Dude,
like,
I had his. I mean, when I got his stuff, I mean, it was quite literally like his handwriting, signed documents of the streets he rented out, how much he paid, how much he was getting paid for his movies. His social security number was on there, everything. I mean, it was
yeah.
all of his stuff.
I
so.
think the House of Dead one was right.
Yeah.
That one was crazy. The one by Sega. That
I
was
found the House of Dead
super unique.
play script.
All gone? Sold?
Yep.
It's sold.
Gone. It's
But,
gone.
but again,
dude.
it went to the people who wanted
Yeah, the people
it as
who
well.
wanted,
These
yeah,
people
that's
wanted it.
right.
They're like, oh my gosh, please, I collect this, I collect Sega, I collect this. So that's
If you
the-
hadn't found it, it would have probably ended in the trash. So,
absolutely, and that's what I try to tell people. Same with you guys when you guys found, the
Steve Bjork.
the Steve Bjork, developer stuff. People can hate all day and go, "Oh, you're reselling that. That's crazy." The community, it would be in the trash
20 minutes
If
away.
you weren't up at 3 a.m. finding it, if we weren't up at 4 a.m. finding it, it would be in the
We
trash.
were there on the last day for that, just to continue that story. And it was 20 minutes away, like Blake just said, from being thrown in the trash.
Yep.
When we came
We
back
almost
to
throw
buy
it in the trash, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I mean, you gotta
Yeah.
think about all that stuff, just like mailaways, the promos, all that stuff gets like pretty much trashed at the end of the day.
Yes.
And us keeping it alive, it's kind of keeping our nostalgia alive. So
Yeah, and there's so
kinda-
much criticism of people be like, "Well, then you're not a real collector if you're selling it." It's like, I don't collect that.
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
collect
mean I'm
that
not a
specific
collector.
thing.
But the people who want it, we have it. If no one would have had Sid Haig's demo reel on a Windows old thing if we didn't find it.
Yeah.